At Grace, we don't talk about money hardly enough. But as I was studying this, I felt like God was laying on my heart that this was an important time to teach on the important biblical discipline of offerings and tithes. You see, we as Christians, we are called to be charitable. We are called to be generous. We are called to give. You see, everything that we have is a gift from God. And when we start to understand that everything that we have is a gift from God, right? Everything we have, our soul, a gift from God, our talents, a gift from God, every breath, a gift from God, and yes, every single dollar, a gift from God. And so when we start to realize that everything we have has been a gift from God, we see the importance of worshiping God with it. We see the importance of worshiping God with our gifts, with our talents, with our breath, with everything that we've been given in hand, and yes, even with our dollar. You see, as Christians, we are called to be generous unto the Lord. In the Old Testament, the Israelites, they would bring in 1/10 of their increase. And so anything that they had, any kind of increase, any kind of blessing they received, they were called to bring that to the temple. This is where the concept of tithing comes from. A tithe literally means 1/10. And so in modern language, it's believed that 10% of whatever we bring in, 10% of whatever we've been blessed, we bring to the Lord, to the house of God. And that is the importance of the tithe. And the concept here is that I'm not going to allow money to be a master over me, right? Because whenever we've been gifted, 100% of the money we have received. But I personally would rather have 90% blessed than 100% unblessed. And so we believe here at Grace that you can't outgive God. You cannot outgive God. And we believe that so wholly and so fully that as a church, we offer a tithe as well. And so what we do as a church is every quarter, we take 10% of the blessing that God has bestowed upon us, and we give it out to local nonprofits that are doing kingdom work. So we know that we are blessed to be a blessing. And this is not something that we do for attention. We don't take pictures with checks. We just bless because we've been blessed. And that is the importance of biblical generosity. We bless because we have been blessed. And the same thing is true for you and I. We are called to bless because we've been blessed, that God has blessed us, and so we want to bless others. You see, ultimately what tithing and offering is us declaring that money is not our idol. Money is not our treasure. Money is not our master. And so we are willing to sacrifice it on the altar. You see, when God talks about money, He's not trying to get dollars out of our pocket. He's trying to get idols out of our hearts. He's trying to get idols out of our hearts. And I say that as someone who has struggled with this. Many of you know my story. I didn't come to faith till later in life. I didn't grow up a Christian, and I can assure you I didn't grow up with money. And so when I became a Christian, I found that I surrendered about 90% of my life to Jesus. You know the song, I Surrender All? I was more like, I surrender most, right? Because there were still parts of my life that I was clinging to, I was holding on to, I was keeping control of. And the biggest of that was our finances. Because to be completely honest, we were young and dumb, and neither of us grew up with any kind of money. And so we weren't good with our finances. And so the idea of just giving it away was so foreign a concept to us that it was something that we were withholding in ourselves. And the problem came that there was no other area of life that we had so much anxiety and stress in as our finances. And I remember Pastor Dennis preaching one day, and he said something along the lines of, if you want to know who your master is, just take a look at your calendar and your checkbook. And it was one of those eye-opening moments that I realized, I'm not truly giving God all of me. No. There's that little pocket of my life that I'm withholding from Him. There's that little pocket of my life that I'm keeping to myself because I think I can control it better than He can. And so at that time, we decided we are going to start tithing. And I'm a spreadsheet nerd. I can tell you right now, on paper, on the spreadsheets, in the cells, it didn't make any sense. My conditional formatting said we were going to be in the red. Right? My nerds get that. We were going to be in the red. We weren't going to make it. And now I would love to go and share with you a miracle story that we won the lottery next week and that all of our bills were miraculously paid and we don't know where any of none of that happened. But here's what did happen. Every week, we made it. Every month, we were fine. Every year, everything added up. But here was the biggest part. We had more peace and comfort in our finances than we'd ever had in our entire life. Because we knew this was now an area that was blessed by God and under God's control. And God tells us in Exodus 14:14, be still and I will fight for you. And I felt like that was what was happening in our finances. And so I would encourage you, if you've never surrendered your finances to God, if you've never tithed and offered, this is not coming from a church that wants your money. We believe we are blessed by God. That's why we don't pass a plate. We have boxes in the back if you want to give. We're not judging you. That is between you and God. That is a biblical discipline. If you want to give to another church down the street, that is up to you. But ultimately, what we are doing is we are surrendering our finances to God, and we are saying, God, I surrender all. I will not allow finances. I will not allow money. I will not allow increase to be my master. God, you alone are my master. And that's what we're doing is we're saying, God, you are first in my life, before my budget, before my plans, before my wants, before my needs. God, you are first.